Hi everyone, this is Ashley at the Rad Mommy. I just wanted to take a few minutes and basically show you how I take self-portraits for marketing purposes. This can also be used for family stuff too. Moms do not get in the photos enough, and so I just wanted to show you kind of a simple, easy way to take photos of yourself with your DSLR and a tripod. First off, you're going to put your camera on the tripod. So yes, make sure you can get your camera on the tripod okay, and that you can kind of move it around, make small adjustments if you need to. If you don't have a tripod, it's okay. You just have to make sure that you can get the camera to be wherever you want it to be. So sometimes, if I'm not in the mood to go and dig up my tripod, I'll use some books, or just something that kind of gets the camera to the level that I want it to be. It doesn't always have to be perfect. 2, you want to find a good place in your home that has natural lighting. If you don't want to do them inside, you can always do them outside. If it's the middle of the day, finding places that have a lot of shade is helpful because you don't want the sun just shining directly in your face. But you just kind of have some options. When I do stuff in my home, I typically like to make sure I have good window lighting. So I'll do photos right next to windows or somewhere where I know that the window is gonna shine on really nice and just create a pretty light. You can kind of take some practice photos with your iPhone or something like that, like if you want to double check the light. But overall, you just want to make sure that there's a nice, pretty, glowy light on you because photography is all about the lighting. Step 3, you're going to find something to lock your focus point with. I personally like using a light stand because, as you can see, it's easy to move back and forth, so I can basically put it in and out of the screen, but then I also just know that it lines up with my eyes well. You can also use a chair, you can use another person, there's lots of different things that you can use to kind of make it easier on yourself, but also just keep in mind that when you're setting your camera settings that a deeper or a non-shallow f-stop will be helpful. So you don't want to go with like a 1.8 or something like that because if it's moved up, you won't even be able to see the focus as much. Or as you can see here, as I'm coming forward, my hands are probably not in focus. So it's kind of helpful if you use maybe like an f4, f5, something like that, just to give you a little bit more wiggle room with the in focus or out of focus. So yes, do this, use something. 4, you are going to set a timer, or you can use a remote shutter. I don't have a remote anymore. I don't know what happened to it. I think it died and it never really worked that well for me, but I'm sure that there's some great ones out there. So instead, I'll literally just go to my camera, get up, walk back, get up, walk back. It's not really that difficult because it usually doesn't take that many shots to do. But you can set your timer to 10 seconds or you can set it to 2 seconds. I prefer the 10 seconds because it kind of gives me a few moments to get in the zone and be where I want to be. Step 5, snap away. You should be all set to take photos. Yeah, I hope that this video was helpful and that you now know how to take self-portraits.